Hello everyone and welcome back to ElectroHobbyTube. Today we are going to be building this lovely little alarm clock. Yes, I have had a few problems with the videos, but here we go. So there are the ingredients, our components. So we've got our capacitors, we have resistors, LEDs, transistors, regulators, a new one, a microchip. We have a rectifying diode, a crystal push button, and something new, our 3 dual 7-segment displays, which are LEDs, and our sounder. So as you can see from the power coming in, power socket, regulator, here we go, smoothing caps, our IC, and some more resistors. We've got a crystal with our little capacitor either side, and now we've also got our little push buttons, PNP transistors. As you can see, there they are. I will put that on the thumbnail. Okay, right, let's get going. So I am going to start with using the resistors, the flattest to the board. Okay, so I'll just get these out. And let's see if we can build this pretty quick. Yes, I have had a few video issues, and that's why I did a test and was asking my viewers to comment, because the problem was I got this webcam which I thought was pretty amazing, but for this particular job, no, not so much. So yeah, unfortunately I've gone back to my phone, which records in 4K. Now it's a shame really, but I think it was also a lighting issue. The quality of the video pointing in different directions was amazing. Anyway, I digress. I am just putting these resistors in. If you can see, I'm trying to make them all uniform. So these are the 1K resistors. These actually control the LEDs and the 7-segment displays. But I thought better to put the flatter ones in first. And that way we can I'm just trimming these down so they're easier to solder. Makes it much faster. I did actually build this clock a few nights ago, but I found with this phone, if I am recording in landscape, which is preferable, I end up with, the first thing it does is records in portrait. So, but then what I didn't realize is it only records in 8-minute segments. So now the problem is I have to lie the camera down flat in landscape and then fix it into the holder to make sure. See, they're all flat. Yep. Okay, now the rest of them. So that was why there's not been many videos. Unfortunately, I have lots of plans. The last few videos and tests I did all week, last week, I got the camera, I think Monday, was preparing a video, looked at the quality of the video to previous videos, and found that it does not look so good. So I did a few videos. I even built the clock a few nights ago. Unfortunately, like I say, this S10, if anybody knows more about it, now I've even set it on a different setting tonight. I've had a few trials tonight and found that the focus changes with my hands moving. So I decided to start again. And this is the good thing, because I'd sooner have quality than quantity. Although my plan was to be putting videos out at least every couple of days, at least, you know, and then build it up, doing some little projects with the solar and the jewel thief. But everything I explained in that video, although it did go on a little bit long, not as long as the I think it was the Christmas tree. It wasn't as long as that, but unfortunately it took 45 minutes, and somewhere I did have audio at the beginning. Don't know what happened to that. I did watch it back on my phone, but it only had audio when it came to about 80% of the way through the video when I put it on YouTube. And I was so gutted. I was not happy. So we are here, or at least I am here again, building it and making it faster. Okay, that's the 51K power supply. So this can actually take 12 volts, but the good thing about doing this again, this recording, is because the other night that piezo speaker, the moment I powered it up and got it running, guess what? It decided it wanted to just be on constantly, so I had to remove it. So this time I'm only going to test it on. Well, that doesn't look so neat. Okay. But yeah, I was pretty gutted about that. But also I did struggle with the power supply, because I thought it would be able to take up to 12, and it proved me wrong. So the good thing is a lot of the errors will be out of this video, and we won't have to worry about that. These are the 2Ks. I hope you're all learning your resistor values. They did trip me up when I was about 15 doing a YTS. But now I could literally see the color code in my head. Literally, I could, from black, brown, red, orange, yellow, green, violet, grey, white. Are you testing? No? You checking? So after green there's blue as well. And then you've got the tolerances. So you've also got, like, for, you can have brown, you can have what's next? That looks a little bit skimpy. That's very low. Let's put that in there. Get the yeah, you can have tolerances. They can have literally brown. I've seen, well, they're usually gold and silver, but I have seen with different ones. Also, you can get some that have got a fifth one. If anyone can tell me what that is, a fifth stripe. And please don't forget to like and subscribe, and please let me know what you think of the quality. And I'll try not to smoke the fumes of this soldering iron. Yes. Crazy week. And I was there getting frustrated because I couldn't get enough videos out. But I'd sooner have, like I said before, I'd sooner have quality over quantity. And that is the true thing, you see. But there's no point me putting stuff up if it's not going to look right. Here's our rectifying diode. I am thinking to start putting a bit of background music in these just to fill in any dead air, but I mean, let me know in the comments what you think of that idea. So I'm going to put that there, that one there, and I think that was my stomach because I probably need to eat. Right now I'm recording this at nearly 2 AM. Where I am during the day is a very busy building site, so we end up with lots of heavy machinery in the road. So that and the noises they make, it's not good. You have to wait till a certain time during the day. And then when it gets to the evening, everything changes as well. Okay. Also, I did see that these diodes, these LEDs, don't light up very well. And the arrow on these is pointing down. So, but yeah. But I thought, let's try, instead of me procrastinating and talking about all the stuff like I was showing in the video that had no audio, I was showing all the projects I've got planned. And there is quite a few of them. The idea is build this, build the wand, the metal detector next, and then we're going to go straight into solar and talk about the jewel thief. Okay, that's the next plan. But yeah, I've got another project after this, and then now this is what I found very strange the other day. So, oh no, that's that. So all the transistors have got their legs very, very far apart, but this regulator, they are literally riding the footprint for the this transistor, this regulator is so close. It's a pain. I did find it a pain the other day, and it was shorting out like it's just done there. Okay, let's just have a check of that. Yeah, it's very close on that one as well. Yeah. So they could have made this a little bit further apart. And now that is a pain. I might actually just get a little bit of solder braid on there. Don't want to keep rubbing the soldering iron across it. Yes, I think I need to eat something. That is definitely one way to do it. And not that way. So, move that leg. Move those legs. Get the solder braid. Bit of flux. This is a good way to cheat as well. Yeah, I don't know why they made this footprint so close. No, it doesn't want to separate. There we go. How's that? Much better. Okay, next. Right, so that's what I mean about these ones. These are very far apart. You can see how close they are and see how close they are. There's, you know, don't understand. But it's probably madness. Method in the madness. But yes, this is getting built in record time. And also, just because of the audio potentially going out, I'm also recording it on software on my PC with my microphone, just in case. So better to have all my bases covered. There we go. Put that in there. I'll show you another method of how to solder in a minute. So when it comes to the IC holder, I'm going to show you what I normally do, and this actually helps. So get that out of the way. So if you're not sure with some of these legs, I've made some onions there. I'll explain what they are in a minute. But if you've not got all your components level, you can just adjust them. I would say not to hold the soldering iron on for too long, but also it helps. So when you're trimming the legs off, you don't have them in the way of your soldering iron and they're held in place. And this is the same thing I'm going to do with the IC holder, but I cheat with the IC holder because I'm going to solder it corner to corner, which I'll also do with the 7-segment displays. So though I have made a few onions, and I'll explain that in a second. So if you see these bulbous amount of solder on them, let me just tack a different leg. So yeah, the thing is, if you don't hold your soldering iron on and you haven't got solder on your tip, what can tend to happen is you get like potentially a dry joint. But the worst thing is you end up with an onion. Now if you was making something for a customer, you wouldn't want it, you'd want it to look nice. So what I tend to do is get rid of all the excess solder off my tip, I say, and then go around and just neaten up. But don't keep your soldering iron for too long, especially things like LEDs. You just want to do this quickly. Oh, that is definitely my stomach going again. I'll just, there we go. So yeah, you can see why I call them onions, because they can look like onions. So yeah, probably not the greatest to look at soldering wise, but I am doing this quick, so it's not a 45-minute video like it was the other day. Yeah, so look what I do. This is like, what, an 18 pin or something? So if you look, it's not flat to the PCB. Now what I do is I tack in the other corner, tack in that corner, and now it's flat to the board. Now we can go along and solder it and make it look neat. I've watched people, I have done it myself, but I've watched people where they literally just line the solder across all the pins. I wouldn't do it with an IC, but the holder, even they've done it with LEDs, flux it and go straight in there and go straight across with a soldering iron in one go. And it does look pretty good when it works out. But yeah, there you go. Okay, now we've got our little tactile switches. Usually rated, I think, for about 10,000 pushes. We'll see. Maybe. Some of these can last a long time. I've had equipment though where they don't last very long, and you end up, let's see, get that in there. Why is that not going in? I think the leg's bent. There we go. So yeah, I would recommend, if you're only just starting out soldering, don't rush it. Just take your time, enjoy it. Make sure you get it all soldered properly. Corners. Yep, all nice and flat, and do the other corners. See, it's easier to do it that way. If you make a mistake, and we can all do that. The thing is, at least you only have to play with the corners to get them either back in or back out again. Okay, that's the best way to look at it. And what have we got next? We have got our 7 segments. I'll put the capacitors in. So there is a positive and a shaded bit. Look at the capacitor, electrolytic. So these only go in one way. Now, yes, for the fact of a little bit of OCD, I have made all the resistors and everything go in a particular way, so it looks neat. But that's just me. But also, it does look good. Like I say, if you're building a project and you want to show it off, it's a good idea to make it look tidy. But there you go. Okay, next. And we'll try and talk over my second brain growling. Okay, now look, got the dots at the bottom of the 8s. See them? Pop that in there. See if we can do these all in one go. Oh, they haven't cut the tape off, have they? Yeah, there's like a protective reflective coating on this, so get this on there. Now, because I've put those capacitors in, the board to my left, the PCB, is raised. But that's okay, because I can adjust it. So you can see that they're not all level. Yep. But that's why I do this. There we go. Now we can go around. Oh, a little bit of a short there. It'll be fine. Now we can go over and just solder this all the way across, and I think that's the quickest I've made one of these. I say one of these, I've made something with similar amount of components before. And if you've also noticed, I put a little sponge there as well this time. Yeah, I was getting too much stuff on the end of the soldering iron on the tip, and it was just not good. Not good for maintenance, especially if you're talking about it to other people and saying how to maintain it and not doing it yourself. So there we go. Now if you look, I'll show you in a second, these are all level and the components look tidy. Fair enough, I just have to straighten the resistors. Okay, one leg longer than the other, positive, long leg, LS, loudspeaker. Now, I am only going to tack one leg, just because the other day this was making a lot of noise. Now, positive connector, positive there. Now, this is also something I had to do the other day. Cheat, because it didn't reach. I hadn't put it in at the right time, because I wasn't thinking connector, I was thinking components. But there you go, you see, best way to cheat. Now we can pop this IC in. I have mentioned this before, make sure that your IC is the right way. You've got a little notch at the top there, you've got a notch at the top there, but you've also got a little indentation, if you can see that. That is pin 1. Now, I have said this before, the legs don't always line up, because in manufacturing, these are made with wider legs, and we usually put them through a roller. So that's not so bad. Okay, now let's have a look at this connector. Let's see if we can cheat a little bit and pop that on there, that on there, and solder these pins onto this socket just so we can try it on 12 volts. And that way I am not struggling like the other day. That's soldered. You're not soldered out. There you go. Right, 12 volts. Let's see if this is mega noisy. Let's get that all connected in there. Get it all nice and twiddly. I'm not going to set this, but is that going to do anything? Yay, nay, no. What else have we got? 12-volt power supply. Has that got any juice in it? Nope. This got any juice in it? That's got juice in it. Okay, input 12 volts. Something not right there? Something not soldered, do you think? That's just the piezo speaker. This is what happened the other day. So I have prepared this 5 volts, and I can pinch. I'll pinch these cables, it's fine. Pop that in there, and where's that little screwdriver go? There we go. Let's pop the pins out. So this is the other connector from the other day from that other clock. Pull that one out. Yeah, sometimes you got to feed these in, then you can get rid of that pin. So it's got a little bit of metal that sticks out on the end. And then we can pop these in the PCB. That's ground and that one's square. Alright, okay. Yeah. That's very weird. Yeah, like I say, ground tends to signify a square, or should I say square, usually signifies ground. But on some of these kits I've found it's not that. I'll just solder this. Okay. There we go. Right. Now I've got 5 volts. That's the yeah, I did have a little bit of an issue the other day with this because, well, the other one, it just didn't want to function. And it was annoying. Okay, that's it. Don't need you. You'll make great bindings for my braided cable. So this is like multi-cord wire, and sometimes it can be a pain. So sometimes the best thing to do is to strip it and tin it. But for me right now, this does not seem like it wants to work. Oh, there we go. Let me just... Yes, so the piezo speaker is on constantly. Now, I'm not doing that again, so just for the sake of annoyance. But yeah, every time you push the buttons, it gets super bright in certain areas. Just the way it's obviously working. And that, why does that not look like... Right, let me just turn this off. I've just noticed something. It doesn't look like the IC has gone completely in. I wonder if that's what caused it the other day. Try to be careful. Yes, I wonder if that's something similar that happened the other day. That's what you've got to look out for. I was looking out for it, but obviously you can't always see every pin. So I will try and straighten this up. Not usually recommended, but these are fragile, if you can see that. So there you go. Now let's see if we can get this all in at once at the same time. Okay, they look even. Right, now let's try it again. There's our 5 volts. And does it want to make noises? Yes, it does. Something tells me there's something not right with that. But yeah, so you can set like time, date. If you look at these little LEDs, I don't know if you can see them there, they don't flash very bright. And this is what happened the other day. It's not the greatest alarm clock, honestly. It's pants. That one is not doing very well, and I'll show you this one. So as you can see, when you press any kind of button, it seems to send itself into craziness. This one, I've not seen it yet, 30 seconds or so. This one the other day, it just all the numbers scramble. Maybe it's something in the code, I'm not sure. I am not going to see, even the 8 is, it's not, see, look. Right, let me turn this one off and I'll show you quickly the other one. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend this as a great project. One I am going to do is this big clock, and this one looks a lot better, so I will be doing that. Next project though, like I say, is this little wand. Going to be doing that next. Little metal detector, much quicker. But yeah, let's just pop this in there. So what have we got? Orange positive. It's a shame really. I do like these projects and quite a lot of them have worked over the years, but this one, I'm not a fan. So yeah, I can put a link in the description for you. But yeah, I'm not that impressed. This one's a bit better. It does still do the same thing, but I'll show you now, just before I end the video. It'll all scramble and go. It like literally makes all the digits go crazy. I think it's like a 20-30 second thing. So let's see if it does it. But at least these digits are aligned, and you can see that the chip, that's been put in properly. So, but this one showed that it had a stopwatch the other day. So I was quite impressed with that. But anyway, there you go. That's a little project. Not a great alarm clock. Please remember to like and subscribe. What am I doing? I'm putting that on there. Yeah, please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you again for the next video, which will be the wand, and it'll be far more successful. Okay, see you soon. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the next one. Bye bye.